Today I'm here to share with you 10 games that may have fallen off your radar, ones that you may not even know about and ones that you should. All of the titles from today's video are worth your time, either looking into for when they release or checking out because they're available in the App Store right now. Raid Shadow Legends is back with another banger as they bring Alice from Adventures in Wonderland inside of Raid Shadow Legends. You can get this legendary champion and more for free. I'm going to tell you how here today, but before I do, I want to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video, and I want to urge you to use my QR code above or my link in the description to download Raid Shadow Legends right now for free to get yourself 2 additional legendary champions absolutely for free just from using my download link, and you'll get a whole bunch of other rewards to start your game quickly with a lot of extra stuff. Let's get to it. Now, just for logging into Raid Shadow Legends for 7 days, you can get yourself Alice, along with another whole bunch of great rewards. In addition to that, when you go to 14 days, you can get her soul and more rewards, and then you could dive into phase 2 and get her all the way to having a 5-star soul, which is going to make her so powerful inside of the game. You can get her for free, which makes this one of the best times to download Raid because you're getting a free legendary just for logging into the game. But make sure that you start by March 26th so that you can ensure that you earn Alice. In addition to this, the Mad Hatter fusion for another free legendary champion is also going on right now. Participating in the fusion can get you the Mad Hatter absolutely for free and give you another one of the arsenal from the Alice Adventure in Wonderland party. In addition to the Mad Hatter and Alice, both unlockable for free, you can also get the Cheshire Cat, the Knave of Hearts, and the Queen of Hearts. All you gotta do is download the game with my code or my link and get started playing the game now. And they come for free. Now we even have a Queen of Hearts event dungeon. What we're looking at here is basically an 8-week dungeon where you need to take on the Queen of Hearts, which may turn out to be a difficult battle for you. It all depends on the teams you put together within your account to see if you can come through with the victory against the Queen of Hearts. From fighting her, you can get yourself some exclusive pinpoint gear between January 8th and March 5th. But let's see for a second if I can take her down. Of course we can. So download Raid Shadow Legends today with my QR code or link down below, and if you're feeling lucky and up to it, maybe you can even come join my clan Echo Raid, where we play together every day. In addition to that, I have another YouTube channel called Echo Raid Shadow Legends, where every single day I take you on my journey inside of Raid, letting you know everything that I know and having some fun along the way. I'll be leaving the links to everything down below. Thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video, and I hope to see you on my other channel because you decided to subscribe. First on the list is Ricocat, kind of like Ricochet, but cat-like. I don't know, something about this game really stands out to me. It looks like an absolute ton of fun, fast-paced, very basic graphics, but the gameplay is very smooth and extremely fun as well. If you can get past the graphic style being a little bit immature, meaning maybe for some young people, and very basic in look, I think you're going to really enjoy this one with the different types of gunplay, how maps are all set up in a way that's easy to dive into combat, and just a general overall good time. This game really implements everything that you would want in a game as far as action goes, except for maybe some of those enhanced graphics. It's definitely one that I would recommend you try. It's available right now, and only 1,000 people have put in reviews, so go check it out. I'm sorry, take that back. Only 1,000 downloads, so it's even newer than I thought. You gotta check this one out, guys. You could be one of the first. Next on the list is Moco, and this is a Supercell action RPG built in an open world. Kind of more like an MMORPG because you get to play with a bunch of other players and take down big world bosses. This is one of the incoming big hits coming from Supercell games. By the way, if you ever play any Supercell game, if you use code ECHO inside of the game, it supports my channel. So thank you guys very much for that support. This being said, I think this game shows a lot of promise. You have tons of different weapons that you could choose from, different ways that you can do attacks, different friends, beasts, or pets that you could take alongside of you, and of course the game is absolutely free to play. Supercell is touting themselves on only making this game monetized through cosmetics, which means you can do everything and compete with anyone inside of the game at the same level with no money. You just may not look as cool as them if you don't get the cosmetics. But this is definitely a game that you have to play day one. When you see this release, which should be in a month or two, that's my guess, you have to download it and give it a try. I think you're gonna absolutely love it. Next, I wanna share with you Dark and Darker Mobile. We're looking at something that brings me back to like a Skyrim style game, but a mobile rendition of it. I like the dungeon crawling element that we're having here and the old school dungeon-like battles. It's a dark style game as well, still in production. Who knows if this one's gonna come in the next few months, but I do think that we're getting something here that's a PC quality game in a mobile version, which to me is quite exciting. This one's a little bit of a wild card. I wanted to throw it in here right at the beginning of the video, but I do think, guys, this is something that you should keep an eye out and take a look forward to, because I think this is going to be something that may be really solid here. Again, too early to tell. These are just my impressions from day one. I haven't played the game yet, but I think it's going to be really cool, so keep it on your radar. Next up is Indie Jonas Great Tomb Raider. All right, so they're going for the Indiana Jones theme with the name and the Tomb Raider for the name as well, trying to capture on two different search economics, but the game actually looks pretty cool. It's definitely a toned down graphic style, but as far as the adventure and the fun element looks, it seems to be kind of on point. The game is actually quite cool. 10,000 downloads is all that it has so far. Another one of those early access, or I should say not early access, but early stage titles that you can get into. If you're trying to get through some type of adventure situations and you want to use different mechanics to get around the game, this is a good one to try out if graphics are not your #1 priority. Now let me introduce all of you to Ashfall. This is a title that's going to be available on both Steam and on mobile. Now, when you're looking at this, it may remind you of a game that you've played in the past, probably on console. Yeah, you guessed it, I'm talking about Fallout. This game is being brought to us by a very similar team that built the title Fallout, that is a beloved title amongst all of the community. This one, though, is being created by NetEase, which is primarily a mobile gaming company. With that being said, Fallout, I don't believe, wanted to represent itself and be associated with the mobile gaming scene. I don't know why that would be the case, but NetEase is on board with doing that. As you can see, it very much looks like Fallout. A couple of things that excite me are, one, what we're basically looking at here is Fallout Mobile. We're looking at a vault right here. Number two, it's cross-play, guys. You're gonna be able to play this on Steam and then take it over and play it on your mobile device as well with cross-play, which is the future of mobile gaming and the future of gaming in general. I think that this one is going to be an absolute hit. The problem is, we don't know exactly when this is going to be launched. There's been no announcement of that, and I would love it if we could see this one in 2025, but that may not be the case. Either way, whether this is a 2025 launch or a 2026 launch, I'm gonna have it on day one because I don't wanna miss out on what this game has to offer. I think it's really going to be something special to mobile because we have absolutely nothing like this yet. And I want to take a minute to let you guys know that I did just launch a website, echogaming.io, where I culminate all of the content that I put together across all 4 of my YouTube channels into one place, where we take the article and we break it down with all of the information that you could see inside of that video. In-depth guides and information for all of you looking for the best games to play are right here on the site. Go bookmark it right now, echogaming.io. Next up is Earth Revival: The Core. We're looking at a strategy-style survival game with definitely a lot of Japanese stuff inside of it. I don't know how I feel about playing this one personally, but I thought that you guys may actually like the type of gameplay that we're seeing here, along with the entire Japanese-themed game. Let me know if this is one that you want to check out. For me, I'll probably pass on it, but I get a feeling a lot of you will download it. Now I have for you one that's also pretty cool and simplistic at heart. It's called Shadow Rival, and it is a very dark Castlevania-style platformer game. As you can see, things are very dark, bloody, and vampire-like inside of this one. But really what's important is the gameplay, and as you can see, it looks like you are playing as a vampire character on this platformer, very easy, simplistic style board. That being said, weapons are pretty big here, and there's a nice grand attack that is really enjoyable to play. I like when I'm playing games like this when my attacks aren't just like a pew pew, and instead they're more like a big explosion as I fight. You're getting that with the melee mechanic inside of this game, along with the dark, vampiristic style overall aesthetic of the game. I think this one's really cool. I think the bosses are really fun to fight and that they are really massive in tone. Definitely a fun game if you're looking for a dark platform, or if you just love vampires, this one is probably a one you'd want to consider. Then you have Bright Memory Infinite, which is a very story-driven female protagonist style game. If you want something that has been on Steam, now coming to mobile, that really does take you through a storyline, and you really want to get into the lore and the what's happening inside of the game of the title, this is the type of game that you're going to want to play. Something extremely story-driven that does, of course, bring you a bunch of action and gameplay as well, but that really takes the time to sit there and be within the lore of the game. Graphics are on point, action is there, and as I mentioned 100 times, the story is legit. Very futuristic themed game here that a lot of people have been enjoying on Steam, that pretty soon you'll be able to enjoy on mobile as well. Next up we have I Am Your Beast, and this one also is available on Steam and available on mobile very soon for you. Why do I like this? You could already tell. You could tell that the aesthetic of this game is something that interests me. Reminds me very much of a Borderlands style aesthetic that really has some fun action-packed, fast-paced gameplay. You're literally looking at a game that looks like it was ripped right out of a comic book, which for me is something different, makes it stand out amongst the competitors, and really does offer a lot of fun. As you can see, it's definitely a violent style game that a lot of you are looking for, specifically in the action shooter genre. But this is one that I really would recommend because they went out on a limb and created something different from anything else that's really out there right now. Now, to stay up to date on everything that's coming relating to top 10 games in mobile or free to play on Steam, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I want you here for tomorrow's video.